learned so much about myself and who I am at the core, beyond the hair, beyond the eyebrows, beyond the boobs. Who is Thandi at the core? And she's an amazing person, and I've never had a chance to really meet her because I was so caught up into what other people thought. But I met someone throughout this journey, and she is amazing. She's resilient. She's powerful. And if I had to go through all of this to learn that, then it was worth it. I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma on November 1st, 2021, and it seems like it was just yesterday, right? And of course, it was unexpected. 2021, it was a year that I'll never forget. I was in my 30s and living my best life. And I had finally got my pre-pregnancy body back and just been promoted to strategy director. My husband, Josh, and I had just celebrated our 14th year anniversary. And the kids ages 8 and 5 at the time were doing well in school. August 2021, I was on vacation with the family, and I did a self-exam, and I felt a lump, felt a small lump the size of a pea. September 2021, I went in for a mammogram and then a biopsy and then an ultrasound. Days passed, weeks passed, nothing. Silence. November 1st, 2021, it was 4:00 p.m. and the wait was over. But I was still so optimistic about the results that I had the nerve to ask the doctor, "Hey doc, I have a 5 o'clock meeting to attend. How long is this appointment going to last?" And she looked at me and said, "Miss Montgomery, you may want to cancel that 5 o'clock meeting. You have invasive ductal carcinoma," she said. And in that moment, my world stopped, and so many thoughts flooded my head. Like, what stage is it in? My family still needs me. I can't die right now. There's still purpose left inside of me. And in that moment, I felt betrayed by my own body because I had done everything that I thought I could to stay cancer-free. But in that moment, I became the 1 in 8 women who would be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. We had to process so much and make tough decisions quickly. Weeks later, I said goodbye to my 34 C's and had a double mastectomy to reduce the chances of recurrence. But I was optimistic that I would recover quickly. My goal is to walk 20 minutes today so that I can just continue to build that stamina, go back to work, and get back to life as normal, right? But no, that's not the way the story ends. The cancer had spread from my breast to my lymph nodes, and the 2-month journey that we anticipated had spread to 12 months. 16 rounds of chemo and 30 days of radiation and 4 surgeries. And after hearing the news, I was so devastated that I stayed in bed for 21 hours because I had lost all hope. Yesterday, I received some devastating news about my diagnosis and the pathology report. Everyone wants to know, how does Thandi feel? I'm numb. I'm devastated. I'm angry, and it feels like my faith has been shattered in a million pieces. How does Thandi feel? I feel like I was 2 feet away from finishing a race that I didn't even sign up for. And I wish that someone could just give me like a remote control and hit the fast forward button, because my faith right now is literally shattered. I know I'll be okay, but right now I'm not. And before anybody passes judgment or tries to give any advice, I just need this moment to be human. I need this moment to be. I don't have a strategy. I don't have a plan. I don't know what to do. I just need this moment to be.
But after I got up, I heard a small voice that said, "You will fight and win." And that's what we did. We put together a strategy. We prayed. And we became determined to do whatever it took to fight and win.
People ask, how was chemo? Chemo was hard. I wish I could find another adjective for that. It was hard. And I had 16 rounds in 5 months.
And so just imagine how you would feel after running a marathon and magnify your fatigue level by 1,000%. That's how I felt. And I would be anxious before every treatment because I couldn't believe I was putting my body through this again. But during my 10 sessions with my therapist, she helped me to reframe my thoughts and stay sane when I thought I was going to lose my mind. And in my head, I realized that chemo was not working against me, but it's working for me. And every drop gives me another opportunity to live another day. My family and friends took me to every treatment so I wouldn't have to go by myself. They were there to support me and waited for hours until I finished. And I know that I could not have made it through without them. We found natural supplements and holistic alternatives like acupuncture and yoga to help lessen the side effects of chemo. We had weekly prayer calls.
Realized that this family is blessed. So my mom is going to get through this with God and with everybody else helping along.
We exercised to increase my energy levels. We had fun juicing and making healthy dishes on the weekend. We never stopped living, but tried to keep a sense of normalcy and enjoy every moment that we could.
My granny always said, if you look good, you feel good, baby. And there were so many things that I could not control, but one thing that I could control was how I looked.
So I put on my makeup and got dressed up for all 16 rounds of chemo. And believe it or not, it did help.
Ooh, radiation. So after the 16 rounds of chemo, I waited 1 month before I had radiation, and so I had to go Monday through Friday for 30 days, and that wasn't easy either.
My skin changed and I was so fatigued after the 3rd week.
Today is radiation day number 7, and this is the machine here. You guys can see like there's like an arm that goes above.
And even though my body went through so much in such a short period of time, by the grace of God, I was resilient. My family, support system, and team of doctors pushed me through when I wanted to give up. And I found my voice and advocated for my health. Through this journey, we've had high moments and extremely low moments. And losing my hair was one of the hardest moments. I had been growing my locks for 6 years, but we decided to take control and cut them off and save them so we could reattach them later. And once I started chemo, I wore an ice cap to reduce the hair loss. It worked for 6 weeks, but my hair started falling out.
This is my 6th week of therapy, and the doctor said that my hair may start coming out starting in week 2 or 3, but so far so good, but except for this part. So you can see how it's starting to come out. I'm really kind of scared to comb it, but if I just comb this part, all of this will come out. You can see it's literally hanging on by a thread, and I'm just not ready to let it go. It is emotional, So again, we decided to take control, and we had a hair shaving party, and that was hard. I have to admit, a lot of times we, as women, we define ourselves by our boobs and our hair. And, my boobs were already gone, and now I had to say goodbye to my hair. What do you think about my hair, Granny?
You mean your hair?
My hair.
I think you're a very nice looking young lady, with or without the hair.
Thank you.
From the beginning, I understood that the diagnosis was bigger than me. And so we took over 500 videos and photos to capture the physical and mental phases of the journey, to raise awareness, drive action, and help thousands of people around the world. And as hard as this journey was and is, I am crazy enough to believe that my struggle with anxiety was removed with every surgical excision. I am crazy enough to believe that every drop of chemo not only killed the bad and the good cells, but it destroyed the imposter syndrome that held me back. And I am crazy enough to believe that every round of radiation burned off the pressure of perfectionism. We all have crucible moments and turning points at unexpected times that have transformed us into our true selves. Something magical happens when you give yourself permission and space to embrace who you are. There is an awakening and an unexplainable freedom to live with intentionality and give the world the gift of the real you. Life begins when you find your truth.
And to all of the women out there who may just be getting started, there's hope. You will get through it, and give yourself permission to be human.
You don't have to be strong all the time. There will be moments when you just want to give up and quit. But keep going. Keep fighting. I am a better person because of this. Our bodies are always speaking, but most of the time the demands in our lives mute the warning signs. Go get a mammogram, sis. Early detection saves lives.
I wish they had some designer-made gowns. All right, it's almost game time.
There she goes. There she goes.
Listen, round 6 of chemo was so disrespectful. It took my nose hairs, under my arms, all that hair is gone.
Thank you all.
We're done.
I will block you so hard, and you won't even be able to shoot.
Beautiful time with my babies. Riding bikes. It's been a while. It's good to be out. Have the energy and the strength. Hope I don't run into anything. This is the day. Last treatment. Woo-hoo.
Every day. I challenge all of you to become the better version of yourself. And I challenge you to use your resources, your expertise, and your experience to bring hope in the lives of many.